Good morning. Welcome to my page. I am Cindy with Cindy's Crafty Creations. Today I'm going to make a patriotic garland. I have like 8 stars. These I got from Hobby Lobby they were $1.99 with 40% off. There was 3 different sizes in the package. I had 2 packages, so I'm using all the bigger ones, which is 8 of them because you get 4 of the bigger ones in each pack. I'm using a bunch of different scrapbook paper. I have some beads from Dollar Tree I'm going to use. And so I'm going to get started. I already cut a bunch of my stars out, but I wanted to show you how I did it. So I have this scrapbook paper. You just place your star on the back side, and then you just trace it out with a pencil, and then you just cut it out. So let's get this cut out, and then I'll show you what you do after that. How's everyone doing today? Today's our kiddos' last full day of this school year. Tomorrow they have a half a day, and then they're all finished. Our youngest daughter will be a junior next year. She's a sophomore this year. It's exciting. That means I'll be planning a graduation party in a couple years. Okay, so here's what you have, and then we're just gonna Mod Podge these on to the stars. But first, before I do that, I want to paint the back side. I'm only gonna paint one side. I want to paint the stars. I'm gonna paint them white, just so that you don't see the wood if it gets twisted around or anything. So let me get the paint and get that started. Let me see if I have an open one. I'm going to use up this old one first. I just bought a new one, but I want to use up my old paint first. While that's pouring out, I'm going to get me a paintbrush. I think I'm going to put a napkin down just so that I don't get paint everywhere and get it on my garland. So let's get these painted. All right. We're just gonna put can be just a thin coat, it's fine. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. My daughter will be having her Sweet 16 party next month. That's exciting. We got it all planned out. We just have to do a few things. I have a couple crafty things I need to do to get ready for it. So I'll probably make a live with those. get all these painted, and then we'll dry them, and then we'll... I don't think you're going to be able to see through this paper, so that's why I'm just doing the back side, because the paper will be on the front side and you won't be able to see the wood. So let me get these painted and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of them painted on the one back side, and now I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to Mod Podge the front. We're going to put some Mod Podge on the front, and then let me put this paint that I had back in the jar because I got too much out. All right. All right. Let me get another brush. Okay, we're just going to start. I have 8 different stars, 8 different scrapbook papers. These are all from Hobby Lobby, this scrapbook paper. So let's get some Mod Podge on these. And then we'll get the paper put on there. All right, let's see. And then just press it down to try to get all the wrinkles out of it. Make sure that it's attached all the way around. And that's what it looks like. That's the first one. And then we'll just keep going down the line. I'll do a couple and then I'll pause the video. All right. Press it down. I have a big picture window in my kitchen, so I like making big garlands like to hang on there. This is the second one. All right, I'm going to get the rest of these done and I'll be right back. Okay, I have them all Mod Podged on. This is the one that I showed you that we cut out. So I have all the 8 of those done. I'm going to bring them forward and I'm going to dry them a little bit. Get some of this glue off of here. All right. I'm going to bring them all forward. I'm going to dry them to make sure that they're dried on there good. I'm drying these with a heat gun that I got from Harbor Freight. You can get these at any hardware store. Hang on. Dropped it. If you can't find one at a hardware store or you just don't have one, you can use a hair dryer, or if you have time, you can just let them dry for a couple hours, hour or so, and then work with them. Now that I have them Mod Podged on, I'm going to go around them with my sanding sponge, because if you look on the back side, you can see where some of the paper is like hanging over. I want to make sure that's flush. So I'm just going to go around it with a sanding sponge, clean it up. So I'm going to do this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all those sanded so that you don't have the excess paper hanging on them. So now I'm going to get a piece of twine and I'm going to I'm going to make it like super, super long. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And whatever's left I can still use. Okay. Let me cut that. All right. The one end I'm going to tie a knot in so that I have something to hang it by. I'm going to double knot it just to make sure it's good and secure. That little piece of extra down through there. Okay. And then this little piece of extra, I'm going to cut that off. All right. And now this other end, I'm going to put some hot glue on it just so it doesn't fray as I'm putting it through the beads. So let me get some hot glue on there. Make sure it's cool enough before you go and touch it because it's hot. All right. I think I'm going to start with my beads and then we'll put the stars as, let's start with a blue. I think I'm going to put 3 beads between each one. So I have the blue and the red are smaller and the white's a little bit bigger. The blue and the red I got off of one of these from these little garlands. From Dollar Tree. My mind went blank for a second. Now that I have the first set of beads on, I'm just going to slide it all the way to the end. I probably got way too much twine, but I just want to make sure I have enough. So here's my little loop. Here's my beads. I'm going to grab my first, actually, I think I'm going to tie a knot after the beads. Just to make sure they don't slide up behind my star once I have it on there. So it's just going to look like that. It has a little knot. And now these don't have holes in them, so I'm just going to glue it. I'm just going to glue it by the tip. Let me get some E6000. I'm going to use some E6000 and some hot glue. This will help hold it long term, and the hot glue is going to set it right now. So let me see how I want it. And then I'm going to have to tie a knot. This is going to be tricky on this side. Make it all this bound up so it's easier. Put a knot on this side. So the same thing, So the beads on this side don't go behind the star also. And then I think I'm going to put just a little bit of hot glue over top of the twine also, just to help more security, just to help it secure. So now I'm going to grab my next set of beads. So I started with blue. We're going to put the white in the middle and then the red. And we're just going to keep going like this until we get all these stars on here. Okay. So we're gonna tie it. And then I'll hold this up and show you. As soon as I get this tie on here. It's a lot of twine, but you just never know how much you're going to need. And I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my star fell off. It wasn't quite dry. Darn it. Actually, I think I'm going to put little clips on them to help hold them. Let me get my little clips out. These little clips I just got from Dollar Tree. They're nothing special. All right. Let me see how I want this one. Uh-oh. I think we might have to put some more beads. It's not going to be enough. Darn it. That stinks. All right, I'm going to have to cut this and redo it. Darn it. All right. I'll be right back. All right, I think I got it figured out. I ended up taking the knots out, and I'm having to put 2 sets of beads between each star because the stars were just too close if I didn't. So we'll still... So 2 sets of beads. So 6 beads in between each one. I'm not doing the knots. And then doing the stars. Still using E6000 and hot glue. Taking my little clamps, clamping them on. I'm just going over the top of the rope after I have them unclamped, just to give it extra security. And now I have that star on, so I'm going to go on to my next set of beads. This is really easy to do. It's time consuming because you have to put all your beads and everything, but they're really super easy to do though. Well, that bead's being stubborn. It's not wanting to go through there. If you ever run into that problem, a lot of times if you take a skewer stick, pop it through there, it'll give you just enough to grab a hold of. So blue, white, and then red. These beads are, I don't know. It's like the red ones, the holes are smaller or something. So pull that through. And then we'll go on to our next bead. I'm going to try to spin this around so that I can get my next star over here and get it going. I'm pulling it to the edge so I can clamp it. Put some glue over top of that. And then back to the, I'm going to redo my end because it's starting to get unraveled. So just a little bit of hot glue. Let it cool a second. Just make sure you don't touch your lip. I've seen crafters accidentally do that, and that burns. And you don't want to burn your fingers when you're twisting it either. All right. Let's get our next set of beads. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, I have all the stars on. I'm just going to hold up a portion of it. And I think I'm going to add some twine bows to it. Just like right up at the top of the stars. Like up by the, I guess you can't see. What am I doing? I think I'm going to put little twine bows right at the top of these. So let me get that one glued on. Let me see. And then we can add a little button or something if we wanted to have a little bit, but I'm just going to get all the bows on right now. So I have to make some. So the way I make my bows, I'm going to use 2 fingers. I'm going to leave a little piece hang. I'm going to wrap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Gather it in the center. Leave another little piece hang. And then I'm going to cut a little piece to tie the center of my bow off. Oops. Hang on. I usually tie it twice just so it doesn't like come undone. but you can do it however you wish. You wouldn't have to put the bows on, but I just think it adds a nice little touch to it. And then we'll glue this one on. It just adds a little something to your garland to give it just a little bit more detail. All right, I'm going to make a few more of these and then I'll be right back. All right, so here it is with the little bows on there. You can kind of see. I'm trying to debate if I want to put little buttons on here. Let me see. Let's try it and see what it looks like. I think it'll be okay. And then this will make it look more rustic, farmhousey. Let's see. All right. And a white. It's going to be odd. I mean, I wish I had one more, but I don't. So, but here is the garland. I'll try to do from one side to the other. So this side, I done every star in a different pattern. So I will get this put up. I'll get all the cobwebs off of it. I'll get a picture and I will get this posted. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you like watching my crafts, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. I would love to have you all on my page so that when I get enough people, I could start going live and you could watch me live here. But thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I will be back with more videos. Bye, guys.